Welcome to the F.S.G.A. Fantasy Golf Draft on Bettor Sports Network. We are the Tour Junkies. I'm David Barnett. I got Pat Perry with me. We are hosting this amazing draft, and I'm excited about it today. You can watch it on bettorsports.com. It's on YouTube. It's on our YouTube. It's everywhere. Twitter, Twitch. You can watch it from the moon. Okay, get the Bettor Sports Network app. This is going to be fun. We're doing this draft on Fantrax. Pat, you're running our team. You're making the clicks here. We're going to make this decision together. I'm going to run through the format, talk through some of the participants here. But the draft is getting started as we speak. How are we doing today? You good?
I'm doing fantastic. I've already clicked a name, DB. I've already clicked a name, so we're off and running.
The first pick is off the board. It is our pick. We'll reveal that here in just a second. First of all, let me give you a rundown of the format. Like I said, David Barnett, Pat Perry here of the Tour Junkies. We are your hosts. We also have our own show on the Bettor Sports Network, Tour Junkies Golf Show, every Tuesday. Check that out. So here's the format. We actually have two separate drafts going on. One is the Sawgrass draft. One is the Augusta draft. We are in the Sawgrass draft. We're going to cover that one primarily here on this show, but check in maybe with the other draft and see what's going on from time to time. In that league, picking first is me and Pat. Picking second, Joe Nicely and Byron Lindeque of RotoWire. Lauren Jump from RotoWire, who we're playing week one, going down. Corey Roberts of Stats Perform. Mike Krasny of Fantrax. Dr. Roto on SiriusXM. Brad Thomas from NBC Sports Edge. Travis Harrell from F.S.G.A. Promotions, Ryan Hallam and Drew Phelps, our boy Drew Phelps. I can't wait to really, take guys from him later. From Fantasy Alarm, and Will Ty of Bettor Fantasy. In terms of scoring, Pat, I don't really think we have to get into all the details, but as I'm looking at it, it's very heavy towards scorers, right? Like golfers who make a ton of birdies, make a ton of eagles, who are going to score a lot. But you also, you lose some points for bogeys. You lose points for missing the cut. There are finish position bets based on where they finish in a tournament, similar to maybe how a DraftKings DFS would do it or something. There's bonus points if you perform well in major championships. And it's a head-to-head weekly format. So like I said, we are playing Lauren Jump from RotoWire in week one. We're going to draft 14 players on every team, 10-team leagues, 14 players on every team today. That's what we're drafting. We're only going to start 5 each week. So, a lot like probably you guys are familiar doing with fantasy football. You're picking your starters. Who's playing that week is obviously going to be a factor. But we're going to have to make some decisions every week, going head-to-head. It's going to start with the Masters in our hometown, in our backyard of Augusta, and it's going to run – the regular season is going to run all the way through the Wyndham Championship, with playoffs being the FedEx Cup playoffs, the St. Jude, the BMW Tour Championship, all that stuff. I'm pumped about it. Pat, did I miss anything? Snake draft? Did I miss anything in terms of the format, or we think we're good?
No, I think you got it. There's I'm excited to get rolling and see wherever. I mean, this thing is just really taking off already. So
all right, so reveal to the audience and me, because we agreed on this beforehand, so you better not have pulled any fast ones on me. Who was our first pick?
Well, I didn't pull any fast ones, but I did want to take Rory. But you know what? We went with the number one player in the world, Scottie Scheffler, and he's playing like the number one player in the world right now. Yes. He's the favorite for the Masters. He's the defending champion for the Masters. So you know what? We had to go Scottie Scheffler there, DB.
We go Scottie Scheffler. He is off the board, of course, and then followed right after him. You had Joe and Byron taking Jon Rahm over there on Fantrax. So Jon Rahm, Rory goes next. Those are the big three in the golf world at the moment. Lauren takes Rory, so I can see you already getting real pissed off at me if on Masters next week, Rory outperforms Scheffler and we lose our matchup to Lauren as a result. Obviously Pat's such a Rory homer. That's
I am.
Problem.
We're
gonna bring in some of these team owners throughout the draft. We may not finish the whole draft in this show segment, but we're gonna bring in some team owners, talk through some interesting picks, talk through the strategy. I think the first couple rounds probably a lot like a football draft, like usually pretty easy, right? You're picking between some talented players. You feel like these guys, but I would imagine as we get into the mid to late rounds, I think that's where Tour Junkies is going to have an advantage.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And DB, we're coming up on a pick here in just a second.
Are we?
So yeah, we are one pick in front of us, and then it's going to be our next pick. for where we're going to go here. I'm looking at, you put in your rankings here. They're a little biased towards you, but that's okay. I might have to switch these around just a little bit. But yeah,
So
we'll
who do
see.
we got? Who do we got on the board? I mean, I'm looking at some of the board right now on Fantrax, and I see obviously, I wouldn't say any real surprises so far, but who's looking like they might fall to us?
I have not seen any real surprises, but DB, we're getting to that state where we have like options like Jason Day,
Mm,
Terrell Hatton, you
Tyrell
know,
Hatton.
Tom
Okay.
Hoagie. Now, here's the thing with Hoagie. I know you're not like he's not that exciting, but he makes a lot of cuts. And here's one of the things about the scoring in this thing: if you miss cuts, DB, you're losing 10 points. All right, so you got to make cuts. All right, it's our
It's our
pick
pick.
here. We've
I mean,
got
Day is playing really hot right now. I mean, also you're making a lot of points when you play a lot. So Hoagie's
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, I feel like we need to go Jason Day here, DB.
Okay, then we have two back to back, so
Yeah,
snake draft. So let's get Jason Day.
we'll give Day the second slot there.
Okay,
Okay,
playing so good right now. God,
he
he's
really
playing good.
is. Now we could go down a little bit and take a guy like Tom Kim, who's not that hot right now.
No,
But okay, you don't want to do
no,
that.
I'm saying he's not. Who else? Or quickly.
We could go Terrell Hatton. We could go Tom Hoagie. We could go your boy Siwoo Kim.
Ooh, I like Siwoo. Just from a scoring standpoint, he's going to play all the majors. He's a winner already this year.
Yeah, let's get
He's going to
Siwoo.
score.
Let's get Siwoo.
And I think that's, I think that's the thing. So I looked at this last year, Pat, based on this Fantrax scoring system. The leading point scorer based on the same league settings as we're playing in here, the leading point scorer last season, if you ran it, was Sahith Theegala, who went to Mike Krasny from Fantrax. Probably a little bit of I mean, if you're from Fantrax, then you would know that. So Mike obviously, he's got a little home cook in there. But Sahith was the number one scorer. It wasn't Scotty, Scheffler, or Rory, and that was obviously on a total points for the season situation. Maybe not a points per tournament or
Mm-hmm.
points per game as some are used to. But I do think you got to have some of those guys on your team. You need to have guys who are going to play a lot, so you have options every week. And yeah, I think Siwoo down there in the third round. We love Siwoo. He's an aggressive player, so he's going to make a lot of birdies. And I'm pumped about it. So
Yeah. What do you think? So looking at round one, I want to kind of talk about my favorite pick other than the top three because everybody's going to look at Scheffler, Rahm, and Rory, but my favorite pick in round one, and I think this is just a little bit sneaky here, is Dr. Roto with Colin Morikawa. I love Colin Morikawa. The guy's won majors before. He's going to play also a good amount of golf as well. I think that's a great pick for round one. So he's probably my favorite one as far as the value right there.
I mean, of course, I love Max Homa. I'm such a Max
Yeah.
Homa, stan. I believe that he's going to continue the hot run that he's on. He's been one of the best players in the world. I would highly recommend looking at him for DFS for outright betting. He's been sticking around in that 20-1 mark almost every tournament. So I think Max Homa makes a lot of sense there for Mike again. I think Finau if he feels. I know there's only so many great players, but Finau to me is just Tony Finau's the dude right now. I mean, like he's won 3 times since July. He is he's just he's not like the shiny new object in the golf world. So he's not Cam Young, right? He's not sexy Tom Kim, but he's just been doing it for a while. He's steady. He's going to be in every tournament. He plays in a lot of other tournaments as well. So I think Finau is quite the play.
Yeah. And you know what? I mean, you're talking about Finau, then Schauffele back to back. That's a big 1-2 punch right there for Will. So
It feels like the draft is moving quickly. Is it moving pretty quick?
yeah, it's. I mean, we're already near the end of the third round. Okay, so this where it's really going to get interesting though is when we start getting past like round 5 or 6. Okay, and
Yeah.
then you're going to be. I mean, you're really going to have to know your stuff.
Yeah, and I think the Tour Junkies obviously at an advantage. I mean, we are a golf brand. We're the golf brand for betting in DFS since 2015, and so we are at an advantage. But I think we're also at a disadvantage because I can't do. I mean, I'm hosting the show, and that's what I got. That's what I can do. I got you back there, possibly doing what we agreed to do and picking the players, or maybe just going rogue and doing whatever you want to do. So If we lose, I'll blame it on you. If we win, total collaboration, two big brains in the golf betting and fantasy world. Then we'll go with that. I think we're supposed to be bringing up some guests though too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, I feel like a draft just went off the rails for a second here.
What happened?
Yeah, I mean, I was just talking about him. Will over at Bettor Fantasy. Will Ty went with Mito Pereira in the 4th round.
What? Is that the first live player off the board, or
he happened to be the first live player off the board. I don't see. I'm like combing through here looking for Cam Smith. I don't see Cam Smith. I don't see Dustin Johnson.
Oh my God, Will! What is Will doing?
I have no idea.
Will, maybe he doesn't know Mito's at live. Like Mito's literally playing a course at Orlando right now with 47 other of his personal friends. Oh man, Will, that might be. I mean, I don't want to say it too soon, but it might be the worst pick of the draft.
Yeah, that was questionable at best, and it started so good. It started so good for Will.
It did. I mean, you could say, let's see, you could say Wyndham. You could say Wyndham Clark was a little bit of a reach. I mean, the 3-1 spot, right?
Yeah, I mean a little bit, but he's everybody's top of mind right now because he has been playing well.
No, that's a 3-10 spot. My bad. Yeah, I would have taken Fowler over Clark for sure. I would have taken, and looks like who is that just got Fowler? I can't. Oh, is that Drew Phelps that got Fowler? The Drew Phelps team?
Fowler. Let's see.
Yeah, that went to.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, Ricky Fowler.
Drew Phelps. I think his team, the team with Drew Phelps and Ryan Hallam at Fantasy Alarm, that one could be. That could be a good team. Drew knows his stuff. We worked with Drew on the Fantasy Channel for a long time. So, all right, I think we've got some guests ready to go, dude. I didn't even realize that Byron Lindeque is the model maniac. I only knew him as the model maniac. I kept looking at the name. I'm like, I know a guy named Byron somewhere. We got Byron and Joe Nicely ready to go. I say we bring those boys up. Let's talk about what's going on.
Yeah.
Are we there? Are we there, Brian? Are we there, Byron?
I'm here. Yeah. I can't see myself,
but
I can see you two sexy guys. Yeah. What's going on, boys?
Good, dude. Good to talk to
Fantastic.
you. So I can't see your team right now in front of me, but who we got so far?
It's not good. We landed up auto drafting Taylor Montgomery on the turn there 2-9. We had some technical difficulties, and owning a team with two usernames or emails is not ideally what you're looking for. So we got Taylor Montgomery, John Rahm. We took him second, and then Tyrrell Hatton.
Oh, you guys are right in front of, or right next to us, huh? So we're gonna be stealing each other's plays here for maybe the next few picks. So Taylor Montgomery, the first, you guys are kind of first victim of the auto pick thing. That's a problem. You gotta have your rankings loaded into Fantrax. I think just in case it sneaks up on you.
Yeah, no, we're learning that on the fly. It's something that we kind of also. I'm a little scrambled right now because we just got. It's our pick, so we're trying to figure out where we're going with here. So I'm trying to
talk
chat
it out loud,
at the same
right
time.
here with us. Talk it out. Talk to you.
All right, yeah. Joe can't hear me. He's not in the thing. He's not listening, and I'm muted on the other one. So he's gonna be putting the trigger on a Cam Smith in the 4th round.
Okay. All right. Well, you're gonna get him at the majors. We know that.
So, yeah. So we had to make sure that we could do that for Augusta, and things are looking prime because we had Taylor Montgomery in the 2nd. So
well, Byron, I mean, you're a sharp player. Your teammate may be bringing you down. It may be Joe's fault. I get it. Listen, I blame stuff on Pat all the time. I think you should start the Twitter campaign now of blaming Joe for your teams.
Oh, it's 100% happening. He's a self-proclaimed boomer. So
so is Pat.
Yeah. So we'll let him do his thing there. I think that the draft's pretty much going to be on him while I'm on air. We're having a tough time communicating because Twitter DMs don't quite refresh as nice as they should these days. But I like Cam Smith. He's going to make up for Taylor Montgomery there, so that's going to be good. It's been chaos. It's a whole bunch of internationals in this draft. Yeah. How are you boys doing?
I don't know. Pat just made 2 picks without me. What just happened, Pat?
Yeah. Well, they're up. You're up. So we need to go, Byron.
Byron, you're up again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just left the other chat because I couldn't figure out how to stop the voices in my head coming in from the Zoom call. We got like radio, we got Zoom, we've got Twitter
you got all kinds
DMs.
of things going on.
It's kind of chaos, but I'll let you. What's Joe just did here now?
Looks like you went Billy Horschel.
Billy Horschel.
Billy Horschel. All right.
Which is, I don't think that's terrible. I mean,
it's really not.
Considering what's left, we took Chris Kirk and JT Posted, which I like that. I don't exactly know what's left, but I like both those players. So I don't think Billy Horschel's that bad. He's going to play a lot.
I totally agree. And I think, he's had a bit of some issues with the swing since about Tournament of Champions. So we'll see what we can get up to if he gets back to how he used to play. I think Joe's a big believer in guys that have played good golf for a while. So that's why we went with Taylor Montgomery there in the second round.
Well, Byron, tell the people where they can find you, and we appreciate you hopping on for a minute.
Of course. Thanks, boys. Sorry for the chaos, but at the Model Maniac on Twitter, obviously part of the two-headed monster that is the Rotoballer team in the draft. And catch me at Back Nine Bets on YouTube as well. That's where my podcast is. It's on Twitter, Spotify, Apple, all that jazz, and again, the Model Maniac on Twitter. So thanks, boys, for doing this. It's been a lot of fun, chaos, but you guys are a great host. Thanks.
That's right, man. Good luck to you the rest of the way, and now try to go straighten out your draft. Go try to clean up the mess that Joe's left you. I'm sorry, buddy. Byron Lindeque, great guy. Model Maniac's great follow on Twitter. Super smart, sharp, and funny. We got to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to see what other chaos is going on. Maybe somebody's going to draft the all-live team. God knows what's going to happen. So stay right here. Bettor Sports Network, F.S.G.A. Fantasy Golf Draft is going to continue.
Talk sports with Lisa Ann and Rick Kamla, Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on Bettor Sports Network.
Let me say something about Tiger. Tiger has had to redesign his entire swing. Tiger has a difference in the length of his legs because of that horrible accident. In golf, there's no hey, you can't walk the greens. You have to take a cart. So I assumed by day 3 on Sunday, the inflammation would start. He took a couple breaks where they take care of his back a little bit, but it is fascinating watching him. So it gave me this thought, is he that skilled at golf? Or is this a mental thing of dedication and determination? He is so dedicated to the sport that no matter what, he's relentless to it. And the dedication and determination goes to the golf, the swing, the playing, the walking, but it goes to his overall health. The average person who doesn't stay in great shape, gets in an accident like that, goes through multiple surgeries, is not recovering and going out there to walk. And that course has some pretty steep inclines, a lot of walking. I mean, how else can you factor these athletes, the Michael Jordans, the LeBrons, these players that their whole focus is really optimal health, optimal body skills, and then what comes next is being the best at what they do.
I think you just hit on why Tiger still has that drive. I don't know this. I don't know the man. It could just be love of the game. It could be, I want to make as much money as I can while playing. Could be all this stuff. But LA, a lot of people think Tiger Woods is the GOAT of golf. And I don't understand how you can be the GOAT of golf when you are 3 majors short of Jack Nicklaus. Okay? So LeBron, I don't think he cares what guys like me say anymore, right? He's past Kareem. He thinks he's the GOAT. I mean, he's 3rd on my list. He's in the debate. Many other people think he's the GOAT. He's not my GOAT. You know what I mean? So I wonder if Tiger is there, like LeBron, I don't care what the pundits, what the barbershops say. I'm the GOAT. I don't have to do anything more. This is all gravy. I wonder if Tiger looks at it that way.
I don't know what Tiger's mindset is in the GOAT status, but when players talk about what it's like to be at a tournament, when Tiger's playing versus when he's not, they'll tell you that they're on the greens and they can hear the roar 4 holes over, and that there is nothing that compares to the excitement of when he's present.
Bettor Sports Live, Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific, exclusively on Bettor Sports Network. Or listen whenever you want on the app with BSN On Demand.
Jordan Spieth, nobody makes more of these than him.
Oh, well, my goodness. Call the cops. Someone's been robbed.
The F.S.G.A. Fantasy Golf Draft on Bettor Sports Network.
All right, Tour Junkies back with you. The very first F.S.G.A. Fantasy Golf Draft on the Bettor Sports Network. It was a exhilarating first segment there, Pat. I mean, the draft is rocking and rolling. It's moving fast. We got people taking live players 4 rounds earlier than they should be taking live players. I think our team is looking steady despite having to host and run this whole thing. And shout out to our producers though, Tony, Mike in there doing her thing, Matt, all these guys putting together a really great product here on the Bettor Sports Network. And hope you're watching and enjoying this whole thing. Because listen, I mean, I think one thing that I should have said up front, yeah, this is a fantasy draft on Fantrax. It's a lot of fun to do. It's going to start with the Masters and it's going to continue into the FedEx Cup playoffs in the summer. But a lot of what we're going to talk about with some of these players I want to get to is going to help you if you're playing DFS, if you're betting on these guys, if you're doing head-to-heads or finish position bets or outrights or props, whatever you're doing. I think this can help you out. So maybe let's take a look at the board. Let's recap what's going on so far. So, Pat, I mean, I'm definitely liking what we've done with our team so far. I feel like we're solid. There's some depth. The Mito Pereira pick by Will, we've already covered, was the biggest reach of the entire draft by a long shot. I would argue. We still agree with that, right?
Yeah, we do. We do.
Nothing crazy happened since then?
No, I haven't seen anything too crazy. You know, we did see Cam Smith go off the board while we were talking with Byron, which I think is a good pick from a standpoint of majors only, because that's where you're really going to see him the most. Yeah. Now, and I do think that if you're thinking of DFS and you're playing somebody like Cam Smith, you may get a little bit of an ownership advantage in GPPs, because there could be a tendency for folks to not play some of those live guys in the major events because they're just not paying attention to what they're doing, or they haven't seen them on tour because they're not playing there. So I think that's one thing you could look at with some of these live guys going forward is, playing them in majors in the hopes that maybe you get a little bit lower ownership on them.
Yeah, so I'm looking at one of these picks here, Pat. Get your thoughts. Dr. Rhoda takes Min Woo Lee in the looks like the 4th round. Min Woo really bucked his head at the Players Championship, showed a lot of the world what he was about and the talent that he had. He's going to be playing in his 2nd Masters this coming week. I think you and I are both pretty high on him. He is a name I think a lot of people need to pay attention to. I think he'll be a household name before too long. The long-hitting Aussie Min Woo Lee.
Yeah, I absolutely love Min Woo Lee. I mean, he is, like you said, he's very long off the tee. And the thing that you'll get, like even next week at the Masters, is if you notice at the Players, he hit a lot of 2-irons. Now, he can bomb that 2-iron. Yeah. But that's just what, the Players and how that course sets up. That's really what you got to hit fairways. You've got to be in those fairways to give yourself a good chance to get these greens. But at Augusta, you can be a little bit erratic off the tee. Now, you can't be blowing it into the trees and stuff, but you can be a little bit more erratic. And he can take advantage of that with his driver. But he has all the talent in the world. I mean, his first Masters, he was T14. You just don't really see that a whole lot by rookies there. And in general, though, I think he's got a lot of upside for the rest of this year. I think you're going to see him not only at the majors, but you're going to see him at a lot of tour events as well. So I think that's a great pick. And Dr. Roto's got a really good team going so far for what I'm seeing. Steady guys, Kyler Morikawa, Hideki, a guy that we see play a lot as well. He's always got an injury risk, right, DB? We're always worried about an injury with Hideki, but he's a fantastic player. And then you got Corey Connors and Min Woo Lee, Adam Hadwin. So just a very solid team there of guys that you can see at the top of leaderboards,
100%. All right, we got to bring up a guest who will be facing off against the Tour Junkies week 1. We got Lauren Jump from RotoWire. What's up, Lauren? How you doing?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. All right, tell us about your team. You got Rory in the third overall pick, which is fantastic. I mean, Pat wanted to take Rory with our first overall pick, so I did.
I love that.
Talk us through maybe the rest of your team, how you're feeling so far. And the draft is moving fast, so when it's your pick, feel free to do your thing.
It is, and these rankings are kind of crazy, so we're all kind of scrambling just to find the golfers that we like the most. But yeah, Rory's solid pick to start. I mean, he saved PGA from Liv, so how can I not go with him?
Do you get points for that in Fantrax? Do you get points for being the co-commissioner of the PGA Tour?
Yeah, I think I get bonus points for that extra credit, so I'm pretty stoked on that. But otherwise, Patrick, I mean, he does have some neck issues right now. He won his first major championship at the U.S. Open last year, and he's just a solid golfer all around. He has the drive and the heart, so I really can't go wrong there.
You don't have to sell me on Matt Fitzpatrick.
I mean, hopefully he does get better soon. Everything he can work through it. I think he will, but knock on wood on that for sure.
How do you feel about Matt's braces? About the braces look? Is that good?
I think that's just another good luck charm for him. Watching Full Swing on Netflix, and he had them the whole time. It's I think he's going to break out of his shell even more.
Yeah. All right, so you had Matt Fitzpatrick, Tom Hoagie, Adam Scott. Now you took another dear player close to DB's
Yeah.
heart. I mean,
Cool.
Lauren, you and I could be on a team maybe next year.
Okay, who's that?
Work out. I'm a huge Maverick McNeely fan.
Oh, I
which
love
you,
him.
you
Yeah.
grabbed him at the 5-3 spot. So talk to us a little bit about how you like to play Maverick, and then your pick is coming up. We might let you make that live on air here.
Well, I mean, McNeely, he's technically ranked in the Fantrax rankings for the most pars overall. So I just kind of figured he'd be a good shot to be even keeled all the way through the season, really consistent and with a lot of upside. So yeah, just a solid round 5, I think it was, pick.
Yeah. Yep. Mav, notably, we just learned this a couple weeks ago, has left his former coach, his former swing coach, and he's now with a guy named Scott Hamilton, who we know. Scott Hamilton coaches a lot of really good ball strikers on the PGA Tour, and I think we've already seen a little bit of improvement from Mav at the match play. He played all right. He didn't make it out of his group, but he played pretty good a couple times, and I think Maverick's upside is there, waiting on him to break through with that first PGA Tour victory, like you said, but I think he's a good option. All right, so it's almost your pick, Lauren. I'm gonna let you talk out loud here what you're gonna do and who you're looking at.
Okay. Well, as long as no one I'm up against is listening. I'm just kidding.
There's only one person in front of you, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going between Hayden Buckley and Gary Woodland. I mean, I like them both a lot here. I know Buckley, let's see. I mean, I think he came pretty close to doing something real big this year. It's just me. Okay, let me see.
Yeah,
all
Buckley almost took it down. He's actually playing well right now, I'm looking at too. And
is he in third right now, the last I checked? Or is I dreaming that? I don't know. I have a lot of tabs open right now with all my research.
I'm sure. Well, you got Hayden Buckley at the 6-8 spot. He is playing well. Thank you, Lauren. Tell everybody where they can find your work.
Yeah, I'm at RotoWire. Come follow us on Twitter, Instagram, rotowire.com. That's where we'll be.
All right. Well, hold on now. Actually, just hold on. Coach us through. Let's see what you think about because it's our pick now. So we'll just do this together. So, Pat, we are about to be on the clock.
Yes, we are. And
There's a name I sent you. Dang it. He just went off.
Did he really? Oh, yeah. He's back there. Yeah. We're not going to be able to get him. So,
all right.
I mean, what, DB, you don't even have him in the rankings, but Patrick Rogers is down there.
No, I don't want him. No, do not want him. Do not want. Lauren can pick Patrick Rogers.
No, yeah, I'm gonna go. Oh man, there's a, you got Brandon Wu that's available. He's been playing really well. Plays a lot on tour. You've got Brian Harmon #1 in your rankings, but I can't.
No. What about Matt Wallace?
I don't.
He's down at 40. He's down at the bottom. You got to scroll to the bottom. I wasn't able to rank all the super scrubby guys that well. So the rankings are now basically gone. You just need to scroll more.
Let me get in here and get I don't even see Matt Wallace.
Alex, he's down at like 48, I think.
Yeah. Man, I'm running out of time.
Go Matt Wallace.
I'm running out of time.
Goes quick. Hurry up.
I'm gonna go Taylor Pendrith.
Taylor Pendrith.
Back-to-back Canadians. Look at that.
I know. Yeah.
Oh, here's Matt Wallace. He's 103rd. That's where he's ranked. What are you talking about?
I'm looking at our rankings in the queue.
Oh, our rankings.
Come on, Pat. If you're doing the draft on Fantrax, you got to have your queue pulled up.
No, the queue is pulled up here, but
Joel Damon, Matt Wallace. We got to pick Aaron Rye, Alex Smalley.
I think we got to go with our boy Joel Damon.
Okay, I feel a little nervous about that. All right, Lauren. Lauren, it's about to be your pick, so we're gonna let you go and let you focus. Thanks for hanging out,
guys. Appreciate it.
You're going down week 1. All right, so now we've got Corey Roberts ready to go from Stats Perform. Let's bring up Corey. What's going on? How are we feeling?
Feeling kind of crazy. Got the
the draft moves quickly, Corey.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, we hear you.
Said I was muted. So yeah, it's been kind of crazy. Just kind of a firestorm here going on.
Yeah, well, it's about to be your pick, right?
I kind of figured out finally how to set the queue. So
there you go. So
that's a little better.
Tell us who you're thinking about right here, because I think you're on.
I have a handful of folks, mostly U.S. guys. First time I've done it, but I think I might go with a guy that I can't even pronounce the name.
Well, who
That's
is it?
usually that's
Oh,
usually my
Christian
thing.
Bezadenhut.
Yes,
We
I
like to
like it.
call him Seabez. That's
Yeah.
actually a really strong pick, Corey. Do you not know much about
He's
Seabez?
No, I do. He seems to be playing
Yeah.
pretty well this year so far. So
Yeah.
happy to get that in the 7th round.
Yeah, that's not a bad one at all. I mean, honestly, Corey, that's better than probably your 6th round pick. I mean, when is Daniel Berger going to play golf again? He's hurt. I don't know. I don't know when he's going to play again.
Yeah, I was just going by
Yeah.
rankings.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
Got a
Berger's
lot
a
of stuff
stud,
going on.
and the rumor is he's close. So I mean, if he gets it together, he's a very strong player. So and could be solid value there in the 6th round. Got a little Justin Thomas there at number 4. I like that. Who's like what's your Who's your will you share with us anybody you're kind of targeting late, or you want to kind of keep that close to the vest?
Well, I might be looking at my guy, Zach Johnson. I'm a Hawkeye, and he's an Iowa guy,
Yep.
so I know he doesn't play as many tournaments as usual, but since we're only starting a third of our guys each week, it's pick and choose
Yep.
based on.
We've seen him play some tournaments though recently, and so I think he'll get out there. I have to say though, my favorite pick that you have, obviously you got JT, but Sung JM is
I think that's a great pick.
he's a great player, and he's also, like we talk about on our show, just like, I mean, he plays every single week. He never takes a
Yep.
break. Never takes a break. So you're always going to pretty much have him available. for
Yeah,
you.
that's true.
Yeah, and he's obviously playing well also. So yeah, I'm glad he fell to me in the 2nd round. So
Yep.
otherwise, I was going to have to take just the guys that were on full swing. But
There you go. A lot of value there, and Sung Jae is going to play a lot. Thanks for hopping on, Corey. Tell everybody where they can find your work, what you're up to.
statsperform.com, mostly in the fantasy and sports betting space. So if anything's needed as far as data content, happy to help out.
Awesome. Thanks for joining. Good luck on the rest of your draft. And
Thank
I don't know what week we'll see you, but we'll hope that's one week Sung Jae skipping.
We'll get it on.
All right. Thanks, Corey.
Thank you.
Take care, guys.
All right. So Pat, we're cruising right along. We are now halfway through this draft. We've just completed the 7th round of the 14th round draft. We might actually get to see the whole draft.
It's looking that way
on this live stream. Okay. I mean, I feel like, can I just be honest? I feel like the Taylor Pendrith play was not good. And you really made that, you really cowboyed that on your own and made that exclusively without consultation.
Yeah, I did, and I got a little stressed there for time, and I didn't. I like the upside of Taylor Pendrith, but I probably could have waited another round or two and gotten him. So, but it's gonna get tough here, DB, as we move along.
This is where I think we can thrive, though. This is where Tour Junkies can really thrive, because we just know the depth of the tour a little bit better. But you got to look at the queue that I set up. You got to look at those.
No, I have the queue set up, but when you were talking about Matt Wallace, I wasn't down that far in the queue, so I was looking for him in the other side of it, the other rankings. So,
so it looks like it's approaching we're starting to approach our turnaround here. The rapid.
I like that last pick, by the way, Aaron Rye.
Yep.
He's another good player that can score a lot. We've seen him be 1st round leader this year earlier at Pebble Beach. He's another guy that gets out there and plays a lot of golf tournaments. So I do like Aaron Rye. I think he's a good player and a good pick there for why I keep getting in here with Dr. Roto for some reason.
Yeah,
Does he got the best team so far? Because I keep liking his picks.
I don't think so. I mean, he does have some solid picks.
He's right in the middle too, which is a good spot, I think. So,
yeah, like I kind of like being in the middle. You kind of get to think about what's happening.
Kiz just went off the board. Not good.
Well, it's good if he turns it around, but I mean, you're counting.
Yeah, well, he might have to start dipping again because he stopped dipping, DB, and he said that was that might have been the trigger there, but I don't know. Just a little inside track information there.
Yeah. That's good. All right, we're gonna get to our picks, and then we're gonna take another quick break. It's approaching. Oh God, poor Lauren. Did she just take Scott Stallings Jr., who I think is? I think that's one of the, that's like when Adrian Peterson on the Bears and Adrian Peterson on the Vikings was a thing. And
Oh, yes.
I had a draft and someone put Adrian Peterson as their first overall pick, but it was the Chicago Bears AP, the guy that played at Georgia Southern. Shout out. Did Byron just take Matt Wallace in front of us?
Matt Wallace is gone, DB. They're listening to us. That's the problem.
Byron is smart. We should have taken him with the Taylor Pendrith pick. Now what are we doing?
I don't know.
And
then I went Damon over Matt Wallace. So, hey, listen, let me focus here. I got to make this pick. All right. I got to make this pick.
Well, me too. I'm looking. Hang on.
Ryan Fox?
Adrian Moronk.
You want to go Moronk?
Yes, he's in all 4 majors.
Where is he ranked in your rankings?
He's 23rd.
Okay, we'll go with Moronk. I'll give you that. All right, now we get another pick here. You got Ben On is there.
Ooh, I like Ben On. I like Ryan Fox.
We've got Akshay.
No,
I don't think he's going to play enough. He's not in any majors either.
Nick Hardy. I like Ben On. Ben On's going to play a lot. I don't know if he's going to make it in every major, but he's going to play.
Yeah, let's go with On.
Gosh dang. God, Byron. With that freaking Matt Wallace just totally sniped that. All right, well, I got to take a break after that, so it'll be a short one. I got to go yell outside for a minute. So just bear with me. Tour Junkies is going to be hosting the rest of this draft. We're going to see it through. It's going well. It's going fast. F.S.G.A. Fantasy Golf Draft on Bettor Sports Network. Coming right back.
Bettorcast.
Hey, it's Rick Hamlet for Bettor Sports Network. I have Joel Embiid for MVP. How about you? The DraftKings Sportsbook is basically telling you it's Embiid's award. He's minus 220. Jokic is plus 250. Embiid is plus 450. Embiid has a better record than Jokic, winning percentage of 686 versus 667. Embiid is leading the league in scoring at 33.5. Embiid has a head-to-head evisceration of Jokic, 47-18, in the dagger 3 on Jokic earlier this year. Embiid has momentum, 8 straight wins. Denver's 2-5 in their last 7. Embiid in March, 36 a game. Jokic in March, 25, 13, and 9. Jokic has fallen below a triple-double. 9.9 assists per game. So after back-to-back runner-ups, Embiid gets his this year. Go to bettorsports.com and on demand with the Bettor Sports Network app and at Bettor Network on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter.
Now back to live coverage of the inaugural F.S.G.A. Fantasy Golf Draft.
That's got to be one of the worst golf shots ever hit in the history of the sport.
Hosted by the Tour Junkies on Bettor Sports Network.
Attention, Bettor fans. You can have the Bettor Sports Network newsletter emailed to you every day. The only place to get our daily Bettor content, plus exclusive offers, program alerts, special events, and our top moments. Register for free right now at bettorsports.com. I've already been getting the Bettor Sports in emails every week, and every day. They're fantastic. They just started this week. Good stuff. Free emails giving you some good, juicy intel and insight into the betting, fantasy, collectibles world, all that good stuff. So fantastic. All right, we're in this. Let's see where we are. What's happening? We're going to have some more guests come on here in just a second. We snatched Adrian Moronk and Ben On at the 8 and 9 spot on the turnaround. I think the Adrian Moronk is going to be sneaky, Pat.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
He's currently, I was looking for his rank. He's the 56th ranked player in the world right now. So, I mean, he's probably in every single major, including the Masters, starting next week. And he's one of these, DP World Tour guys that are coming over here trying to make some hay on the PGA Tour and the more, I guess, U.S. circuit of events. But Adrian Moronk's a talented player. I really like him a lot.
Yeah. I have seen now a couple of live guys go off the board, DB. One of them being Lauren took Cameron Tringali, which is going to be interesting there because he is on live and not in a lot of majors, I don't think. And then Joaquin Niemann went off.
Oh, Niemann.
Which I love. That was Brad Thomas. He got Joaquin Niemann. I think he's a sneaky play next week too. So I do actually like that as a live play. But we're getting into that stage where you may have to take a risk on a few of those guys for the majors.
I tell you, my heart goes pitter patter for Joaquin Niemann. Well, what we haven't done yet is we haven't checked in on the other draft that's going on. So we are drafting. So I told you we're drafting 2 simultaneous leagues here on Fantrax for the FSGA Fantasy Golf Draft. We are in the Sawgrass League, and this is, I believe, the Augusta League that we're looking at now on screen. So this is the one we are not in. And I wonder if there's any. So John Rahm goes off first in that league. Rory goes off fourth because let's see, who is that? What team is that on Bettor? Tom Cunningham from Bettor Pool took Jordan Spieth. What an
interesting there. Okay. I mean, Spieth is obviously, we know at the Masters he's fantastic, and he has been playing better. Almost won a couple weeks ago. But Taylor Moore took it down. I had him at 50-1, by the way. But I'll tell you what, man.
The DFS Bet Karma team was the first one to take a live player off the board with Cam Smith in the second round, not Mito Pereira.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and then DJ goes right after from Tom again. I mean, it's like the run on tight ends. You get the first tight end goes off, and everybody feels like they got to get one. Is that how it is with the live players? I don't think that's a great strategy, honestly. When would have been the round you would have been starting to get comfortable taking a live player, Pat?
I probably would have at least waited till end of round 3, and it would have been Cam Smith would have been my first one. But that's where I would have started doing that, just because you're not going to get them at most of the events you're looking at. So yeah. By the way, Colin Morikawa going off in relatively late, I think.
Where did he go?
He went off in the first pick of the second round.
Wow, that is late. Wow, interesting. Well, our girl Steffi Smalls is in here somewhere too. She's champions round right here at the 6th pick. It looks like they went with Xander, Burns, Hideki, McCarthy, Power, and Rye. That's a strong team there. You can tell Steffi knows her stuff.
Yeah, that is a very strong team. So good on Steffi for that one. Now I'm going to let you look at some of that board because I'm about to come up on my pick here. So I gotta focus here, DB.
Oh well, no, I want to help because
we got about about 90 seconds. So
okay, so let's see where we're going. Who's popping off? Oh, Scott Stallings is right there. I mean, he's going to play a lot of tournaments. He's been hot before. He's an option. Let's see what Byron does here. If he's going to snipe us again with Joe Nicely, a rotoballer. Maybe I should just say a name of somebody I don't want so that Byron doesn't.
Yeah,
but Byron's so smart. I mean, he knows what to do. He's going to do his thing.
I got a couple guys here that are.
Hang on, I don't want Byron to.
I'm not going to say anything. Don't worry.
As soon as he's done,
don't you worry, DB.
I got a few I'm looking at too right here. So Abe Answer just went off, another live player. So Lauren grabbed another live player on the back of Cameron Tringali. All right, Lucas Herbert goes off, which isn't a bad play. I don't hate it. I don't love it, but.
All right, here's who I'm looking at here, DB. We've got back-to-back picks. So we've got a guy with some upside like Ben Taylor. You got Ben Martin, he's sneaky good, makes a lot of cuts. We've got who was the other one I was looking at in here that I think we could play with? Nick Hardy. Nick Hardy's another one.
Plays a lot. I like Hardy. I like Scott Stallings, even though he's not super good right now. I think he'll find it again. He's been solid. He's playing in the Masters. I like Mark Hubbard. Nicholas Højgaard's down there. Bobby Mack is down there.
Yeah, I'm a big Højgaard fan. You know that. All right, I got to pick. I am going to go with Scott Stallings. I just think he's just such a solid play. So I'm going to go with Scott Stallings there, and then the next one I'm going to go with. I'm thinking here, DB.
Take a second. Nick Hardy, Hubbard.
We could look at Højgaard.
I just don't know how much he's actually going to play over here. That's my only concern.
I'm surprised you don't like Ben Martin.
I do. I just don't. I don't know if I fully trust him for the whole season or for the rest of the year. You know what I mean? He is playing really well right now, but for the rest of the year, do we trust him that far?
I mean, how about Lingmerth?
I don't want Lingmerth yet.
All right, you got it. You can see it. So if you want to take one, I got 20 seconds here.
I think we go with some upside. Let's go Nick Hardy.
Oh my gosh! Now I can't even find him.
I found him. Boom! Coming in hot,
There we
hosting
go.
the show and on Fantrax.
Nice.
Multitasking like a mug up in here. All right, so let's take a look at the Tour Junkies team. Tour Junkies team so far through 11 rounds. Started off with Scotty Scheffler. Duh. Okay. Jason Day, round 2. He's been just playing so good, it's just not even funny. So a resurgent Jason Day could be a deadly pick there in the last pick of the second round. Siwoo Kim at the 3-1 spot. I'm sure there's some people that probably, thought that one was a little off, or maybe we reached a little bit. But when you're at the end like that, you got to reach if you want your guy. And Siwoo Kim Siwoo Kim's he's a scorer. He's going to score. He's going to play a lot. He has upside. Chris Kirk after that, who just won the Honda Classic, which our boy Pat Perry had on his betting card at 35-1. Hit that one, a Georgia Bulldog as well. Plays a lot of golf again. JT Poston, friend of the Tour Junkies. That's a guy who's going to play really well on hard courses. The putters, one of the best putters on the PGA Tour, one of the best putters in the world. Has a few events a year that are just JT Poston golf courses.
Yeah, they are
a little bit shorter tracks requiring some precision. Taylor Pendrith, we had an argument about, but I do see the upside for Taylor Pendrith. He's a bomber. He hits it super far. He was kind of a DFS darling for most of the year last year, and then I think he had a hip injury or something. He's come back from it now, and he's starting to recover a little bit. Our boy Joel Damon, who was the star of the Full Swing series. We love Joel. Definitely a good player. Can play hard on tough courses as well. Usually plays all right in like U.S. Opens, PGA Championships, and such. We've talked about Adrian Morant, kind of a world-class player. Byung-Hun An, been on, some would say, from South Korea. Great ball striker, another favorite of ours. Scott Stallings, Nick Hardy. Again, guys that have some upside and that have, can really just, they're going to play a lot of golf, and they're good ball strikers. So,
yeah, I'm feeling good. I think across the board, it's a pretty solid team with, with a lot of upside. So I'm a fan so far.
All right, well, let's take another visit from the team drafting out of the 7th spot. Brad Thomas, NBC Sports Edge. What's up, Brad? How are we feeling about this draft so far, other than hectic? Brad's lost in the Fantrax drafting abyss.
We don't have Brad. Trey Mullinex is who he just took has just taken over his whole system.
I think that's actually a good pick.
Yeah, I like Mullinex.
So, and let's while we're at it, I don't think we've talked a lot about Brad's team. So let's talk about Brad's team for a second. Trey Mullinax, he went with F.S.G.A in round 10, another good, high upside young player, now with special temporary membership on the PGA Tour. F.S.G.A is a 19 or 20 years old. I mean, the kid's unbelievable. Absolute bomber. Just a lot of talent in that kid, in all 104 pounds of him, but he's really talented. Joaquin Niemann, Mackenzie Hughes is where, it's like, eesh, Brad, I don't know. Like, we may have reached there. I mean, Mackenzie Hughes, I don't know. Mackenzie is fine.
Brad to me has like the all frustration team. Like these guys are going to frustrate him. Now Cantlay's going to be that's going to be fine. Like Cantlay's just a level-headed guy. He's really slow, so that's what's going to frustrate you about Cantlay.
Yeah,
Jordan Spieth is all over the place. Like he's gonna make 5 birdies in a row, and then he's gonna make a triple or something. And he's gonna put you on an emotional roller coaster. But obviously one of the best players in the world, and we saw him go second in the Augusta League draft, but he goes in the second round here in this draft. And then Keegan Bradley is another one that's going to frustrate you because he's going to shoot like 7 or 8 under on round 1, and then he's going to trunk slam, shoot a 80 in round 2, and that's going to frustrate you. Shane Lowry's pretty solid. JJ Spawn's solid. Then you got KH Lee. Now, the thing I like about KH Lee is that dude's a scorer. I mean, he makes a ton of birdies, but he can be a little up and down as well. So this is an interesting team for sure.
Yeah, I would say, Brad, make sure you start KH Lee at the Byron Nelson, right? The Byron Nelson in Texas. I think it's in May. He's back-to-back.
Yeah, TPC Lee. Isn't that what we call him? TPC Lee.
Yeah, he's a back-to-back winner there. I think both years it was like 26 under and 27 under won the Byron Nelson, and KH Lee did it. I really like KH Lee a lot. And honestly, I mean, the Niemann pick in the 9th round is actually not – I kind of said something about that. But the more I look at it, I love Joaquin Niemann. You could get him in the majors if you're gonna get a live player. I think you do that. And honestly, I mean, I was prepared to take a live player. I just didn't think that they would go this early. So I don't know what, I don't know if we'll end up with a live player now because I think they've all been Tiger Woods goes off. Fantrax Mike takes Tiger Woods
Okay.
in the 12th. You may only get one tournament out of him, Mike.
Yeah.
But I hope you start him next week at Augusta. It's coming up on our pick again too, Pat.
I'm looking here. We got some options.
Well, let's bring Brad. If Brad's back on, let's see what happens, and maybe he can help. He can help talk us through our pick too. You there, Brad? Oh, dang it, Brad. And no, he took Eric Cole right after Trey Mullinax, recent near winner at the Honda Classic.
Big fan of Eric Cole.
Yeah. All right, so Brad's not happening, but we're happening because it's almost our pick here. So Patrick Reed just goes off, another live player. Lauren grabbed it. Lauren's stacking up on the live boys. Is there a live event here on Fantrax? I don't know. Højgaard just
God.
I'm telling you, Byron is.
He did that on purpose. I know it.
Jeez. All right, we got to talk through.
All right, so we've got some options here that we can look at. We got a Patton Kazire, who I know you liked this week. Could be as interesting. Grayson Sigg, who's an Augusta boy. He's up there.
Still like Hubbard down there.
Yeah, Hubbard's one that I was eyeing.
Eric Ruyan's there.
You got Harry Hall. I think I want to go Hubbard here.
MJ Duffy. All right, well, hold on. We got time, so let's let the clock. Let's think about this. MJ Duffy's one that I didn't realize was over there. Hubbard.
I got 10 seconds.
Let's go Hubbard. Let's go Hubbard with that one.
Okay, I could actually be going there and then go MJ Duffy right there back to back. Some other guys that we could look at. Lee Hodges.
We only have 2 more picks. I didn't realize that.
You got Streelman, who is just always playing golf. Solid player. Trying to look through here at the bottom though, see if there's anybody that's not in your queue in your rankings that you missed.
Yeah, there were some guys I intentionally left off because I don't like them. But I mean, I say we go. If you like MJ, let's go MJ.
Or EVR could be interesting too.
EVR too. Yeah, I'm good with either one of those.
Let's go with EVR.
Okay, EVR it is. All right, and third time's a charm. Brad? Maybe Brad doesn't actually exist. Hey, what's up?
Oh my goodness. Can you guys see and hear me?
Yes.
What's up?
Brad Thomas, NBC Sports Edge. What up, dude?
Listen, thanks for having me, guys. I have to tell this funny story because it happened before I came on. So Lauren drafted Steven Stallings Jr.
Yeah.
But she saw S. Stallings.
Yeah.
And then we're like, it's okay, Lauren. We're going to make sure that you get Scott Stallings. We're not going to draft him. But you guys didn't know about that.
Where was that happening?
We were doing it on Zoom. We were all talking on Zoom.
Well, you know what? We can make a trade for that. I think we, look, that was an honest mistake, I think too. So I'm making an executive call that we will have to work that out with Lauren after the draft because we'll be okay with that.
Yeah, awesome. She's probably going to be ready to deal live player or two.
Yeah, probably.
All right, Brad, what do you think? What do you think so far? Your team, are you feeling some drafters remorse already, or where? And it's also almost your pick, so be ready for that.
Oh, I'm ready for my pick, but no drafters remorse. But I do think you said my team name exactly correct. The all frustration team. Like I just see, I was on Jordan Spieth when he decided to go 3-wood and still missed the fairway, went into the water at Valspar. So I know that feeling all too well. Like there's just so many guys. Keegan Bradley can have like a massive 6-under day, and then followed up being 4 over on the next day. So let's see who I'm going to go here. I think I'm going to actually go Lingmerth. Funny David Lingmerth story at TPC. He was doing his practice round. When he finishes his practice round on 18, his son, he must be like 3 years old, was signing autographs. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. Yeah, it was great.
We have a David Lingmerth song actually. Pat, do you want to sing it?
Yeah, well, we just call him Little David Lingmerth. Hop it. We like he just hops up the green making birdies.
Yeah, he's just a wee boy, but he packs a punch. David Lingmerth does. So I don't mind that pick at all. He's starting to do his thing again, man.
Finally.
The guy won a WGC. Was it a WGC event? No, he won Colonial or something.
Won Colonial and almost. Yeah, he's a good player.
So you're also coming up on your last pick. I mean, this thing's almost over.
The last pick is probably the hardest because that's a guy who I'm probably not going to put in my starting lineup, but they got to be near and dear to my heart. Maybe I go like Harry Higgs. I feel like.
Oh yeah, I agree. Your last pick does need to have some, some emotional, just like something behind it.
Yeah. Like you think about Stuart Sink, growing up watching him play. And I can be like, I drafted Stuart Sink. Might be a few years too late, but he's on the team.
I mean, you could continue the theme with the all frustration lineup, and who could we put in that? I mean, I don't know if we might be running out of frustrating guys.
Yeah.
I think we might have all drafted them.
Well, you could always has Sergio been taken? You could roll with Sergio
on there.
Do you have any live players on your team? I was looking at that.
Yeah, I went with Neiman. I grabbed him in the 9th round because I figured I can use him at least at 3 of the majors. I don't really expect myself rostering JJ Spawn when I could just throw Neiman in there. I think Neiman's a better player, even though JJ Spawn's playing some pretty solid golf right now.
I think Neiman is a sneaky play at the Masters too. I feel like what is he 70-1 DB, something like that. So
yeah, he's around 70 right now. I snagged him at 100-1. I snagged Answer too at 90-1. I just didn't think those. I think those are the most competitive live golf players right now. Like, obviously you have guys like DJ and Cam Smith who can turn it on at an instant, but Neiman and Answer are still playing good golf, and Answer's been successful in majors before. So
absolutely.
Well, Brad, we just had Abraham Answer's caddy, Benji Thompson, who's a local boy, lives here in Augusta. I've known Benji since high school. He's caddied for Abe for the last couple of years. Just had him on a show yesterday that dropped for the Live event. And, he said that Abe, since going to Live, has had more time to practice. He's like, on the PGA Tour, we were playing 20-something events a year. Abe didn't practice like he wanted to because in the off weeks he was tired.
Yeah.
And so he's been practicing, he's been grinding, he's ready for Augusta. So we'll see what happens. All right, it's your pick, your final pick.
This is tough.
You're going to do it live right here.
Who would have thought I would have been this confused about who I wanted to pick? Like my mind's going everywhere. Martin Laird is an option. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go with the Gim Reaper.
Gim Reaper?
Okay.
Gim?
Yeah.
I don't mind it.
Yeah. Good nickname. You got Little David Lingmirth and Gim Reaper in your last 2 picks. I think that's cool. You might have the all name team.
The all name team, all frustration, all name team. Just here to have a good time.
Well, thank you, Brad, for joining. Glad we can finally make it work. Tell everybody where to find your stuff.
Absolutely. You guys can find me. You can find my articles on NBCSportsEdge.com. You can find me on Twitter at Mr. Brad Thomas. Thank you so much, guys. This was great.
Loved it, dude. Mr. Brad Thomas.
Appreciate you, Brad.
Good stuff. See you, buddy. All right, we are coming up on our final pick, Pat. Final picks of the draft, and then we will once we make our pick, maybe we'll take a break, come back and assess.
Yeah, I'm looking through here because I think we've got a guy that I feel like should be the
Don't say his name.
I'm not. You keep doing that. I understand what's going on here.
Byron and Joe are Pierce.
All right,
Sudi.
DB. Here's what I think we got to do. Okay. Why would we not make an Augusta boy, an Augusta native, the last pick in the draft with Mr. Grayson Sigg, who you do have ranked 2 left in the rankings here?
Yep,
I think we go Grayson Sigg right here.
Yep, Siggy's a ball striker. He's a young guy on tour. Hasn't had his first win yet. Hasn't really felt the heat of coming down the stretch and winning yet, but he's been solid. He's been consistent, good iron player, all that good stuff. All right, let's take a quick break. We got some more guests coming up when we return, and we're going to recap the draft boards, maybe both draft boards. So stay right here. Bettor Sports Network, F.S.G.A. Fantasy Golf Draft continues with some analysis.
Lunch Money with Kyle and Ray. Weekdays at noon Eastern, presented by FantasyGuru.com.
I just opened my inbox, and there was a little connection to a story at the local paper about salad bars are coming back to St. Louis. We haven't had them since COVID, Ray. I'm a big salad bar guy. I love going to the local grocery mart and doing a salad bar. I get it. It's kind of disgusting. Hell, they put a sneeze guard over the food.
What is this? Some kind of force field around these vegetables. That's the sneeze guard. You have to lean under it to get salad or sneeze on stuff.
But all these disappeared. Ray, I used to do the salad bar probably at least 2 times a week for lunch. And I would just load up because I didn't have to cut anything. And I didn't have to buy like a whole cucumber, just have a little bit of cucumber in my salad. I'm a big salad bar guy, but these things have been gone for 3 years. And I think I'm going to get back into the salad bar game, David.
I used to love buffets and salad bars and all that kind of stuff, and I haven't been to one since COVID. I'll tell the story quickly. My nephew, who at the time I want to say was 5, we were on a little trip, and we went to, it was a brunch and everything like that. They had ice cream. So my nephew doesn't know any better because he's 5. Puts his spoon in the ice cream, which is cool, right? He's going to spoon it out, fine. But he doesn't spoon it out into his bowl. He spoons it into his mouth and then sticks it back in the ice cream. And I'm like, so we had to talk to the manager. I had to get him to pull the ice. And I started thinking to myself, you look around, people are.
Yeah, that 5-year-old germs wasn't going to hurt anybody.
No, but you know what I mean. Then you look at this old person and they're grabbing this. It's just when you start thinking about it, I have a real struggle at this point with it now because I've thought about it, but I used to love going to them previously.
Well, and everybody's using the tongs there. Everybody's touching those. God knows where those hands have been.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I've yet to see anybody actually sneeze under the sneeze guard. Maybe if I see that, Ray, it'll change my whole outlook.
Right? It's like
there is a reason the sneeze guard is there. It must happen enough that somebody said, we got to put these suckers in.
Yeah.
But I love salad bars, and I'm back in, Ray. I've never gotten sick off one, so it's easy for me to say, but I'm getting back in the salad bar game.
Okay, good luck.
Good luck.
Make bets and follow your fantasy team while you buy, sell, and trade collectibles in real time. Only on Bettor Sports Network.
Max Homa. Another win on California soil.
The F.S.G.A. Fantasy Golf Draft on Bettor Sports Network.
All right, we are back. DB Pat Perry of the Tour Junkies here hosting the inaugural F.S.G.A. Fantasy Golf Draft on Bettor Sports Network through Fantrax. It was a lot of fun. It was good. It went quickly, which I like. I mean, we want the drafts. We don't want the drafts to take forever.
Yeah.
That 60-second clock sure does tick fast when you're having to make these decisions on the fly, especially, middle, back end of the draft. But I feel good about the team. I feel good about our team. We're going to break down some more teams in this next hour. We're going to bring on some more guests. Pat, any regrets here for us right off the bat?
I think the only one we really disagreed on was the Taylor Pendrith one, which we've talked about. So I don't feel like I have any regrets. That last round was interesting because you had it went all over the place. It went all over the place. You had a guy like Cam Champ went first in the 14th round, who's a good player, but he's been struggling as of late. Then you had Vince Norman, Austin Eckroat, Doug Gim, who Brad talked about. I think Doug Gim is a very solid player. Then Lipsky. So it was interesting. It's hard that last round there, but there's some upside guys. I really like Pearson Coody. Byron is just he knows his stuff, obviously, and a lot of these folks know their stuff. But Byron seemed to be the one that if there was somebody that stole some guys from us, it was him.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't want to give all the credit to Byron, right? It could be Joe nicely too. I mean, Joe.
That's right. You're right.
That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
But the model maniac, I mean, they don't call him that for nothing, right? He knows his stuff. He knows what he's looking at. His numbers are all good, and he knows the numbers, and so he's picking guys that are the data would say are going to pop and are playing well, which is what he did, and he did snipe Matt Wallace. I mean, I think we were at another disadvantage having to host the show and kind of talk through our picks. So, I mean, I said Matt Wallace a couple times, and then you didn't take him. You took Taylor Pendrith, and then he snatches him from us on the way back, and then he does the same thing with you on Højgaard because you said Nikolai Højgaard as we were making our Stallings Hardy selections.
Well, I mean, speaking of Stallings, I mean, we got to talk eventually about what we're going to – I mean, is Lauren going to send us –
Also, I didn't agree to that. You just said
No, that was an executive call.
How many executive calls do you get on this draft?
Well, I get that one for Lauren. It was an honest mistake, so I feel like we should give her Scott Stallings. It's like we play a little Red Rover here. Red Rover, send Hayden Buckley over. We'll take Hayden Buckley. Somebody like that. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean,
or maybe we just have to take somebody off the board that's, we get an extra draft pick. I don't know.
Technically in the league rules say that we can't trade technically. But I mean, Mike from Fantrax is here, so I'm sure he could work something up if he had to.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would consider a trade. But I mean, in my Adrian Peterson analogy, what do you do if somebody puts the wrong sticker up there and they walk away and another pick happens? What do you say happens? Like, what's the rule? Are you stuck with Adrian Peterson of the Bears, Steven Stallings Jr.?
Yeah, I mean,
you just want to be nice. You're just trying to be a nice guy.
I am. I'm being nice. I feel like, I mean, Stallings. I mean, come on.
I know, but I mean, okay. I guess I'm. What did I pay for the league, or was it just me, or what? I guess you don't care.
I'm not worried about that.
Lauren also, I think, wins the award for most live players. She went. Let's see. She went Tringali, Answer, Reed, Leishman. There's 4. Is there any other team that has more than 4? I want to look at Will's team after the Mito Pereira selection in the first pick of the 4th round.
Yeah.
He's in the 10 spot. So he went Mito and then Brooks. So he has 2 live play. Look at Will's 11th round.
I'm just seeing that.
What a pick. I completely missed that, which I don't know if the pick will pan out, but it's a player that only the golf diehards probably are aware of. But Gordon Sargent which is an amazing golf name, by the way. We talked about golf names.
When is Will coming up? Because I can't wait to discuss.
I know we need to talk to Will. Will somebody get Will on the horn?
Oh yeah, he's coming up. He's coming up later. So
okay.
We'll get, because we got to review this. Sargent is a unreal talent. They already say again, like how long he is, but playing in the Masters as an amateur.
He's the number 1 amateur in the world. He won the NCAA individual championship for Vanderbilt as a sophomore last year, I believe.
Yeah. I'm assuming that he must be expected to turn pro after the Masters.
Maybe. I mean, he's a
But if he doesn't, that's just a wasted pick.
Yeah, if he doesn't, yeah, you're right. That is gonna hurt.
Because he's not gonna. He'll play. He may be in the Open Championship. I doubt it, actually, because they don't take the NCAA champion, because he was a special invite to the Masters. He didn't get the automatic invite like the U.S. amateurs do. So that's interesting. We'll have to talk to him about that one when we get to it.
A lot of these teams are going to improve quick. It's just like, it's like if you drafted. Now, we're not really drafting early because the first game of the season technically is Masters coming up, but when you're doing, I keep comparing this to fantasy football. Like when you're doing fantasy football draft, if you draft a month early, teams can look a lot different quickly with one ad drop or 2 good ad drops, which you can do in this league on Fantrax. So I could see, if Gordon plays the Masters and then decides he's going to continue his collegiate career at Vanderbilt and just continue beating the crap out of 19, 20, 21-year-olds for another year or so, all across the world, then he can easily drop him and pick up a very fine, player on the PGA Tour that's in the waiver wire. Like I'm looking at already the names that are available now. There's some good ones.
Yeah, no, I agree.
We haven't talked a lot about my buddy Drew Phelps, our buddy Drew Phelps, Ryan Hallam and Drew's team, Fantasy Alarm, which is picked out of the 9 spot. Drew knows his stuff. I don't know Ryan, but I would imagine he also knows his stuff. But I'm curious. I would love to know, which one of those 2 were maybe calling the shots and actually clicking the buttons. Because it's a strong team. Dustin Johnson in the 5th as their first live player, and only grabbed that 1 live player. Went with some interesting names down at the bottom of their draft, but I feel like the top and the middle was pretty solid.
Yeah, the top going with Victor Hovland first, then Willie Z. Willie Z is man, just has so much talent. If he could just get that putter figured out, he's all over the place with the putter. But I don't mind the Willie Z. I think there's obviously a lot of upside with him. I probably would have gone with Jordan Spieth, who was available there. Or
I cannot believe Jordan Spieth went in the 4th pick of the 2nd round.
Yeah. I mean, I would have probably gone Spieth there. Sam Burns went right after him, so which we've seen him play well recently. Was not playing well earlier in the year, but back to their team. I mean, Keith Mitchell's strong up top. Ricky Fowler is probably one of my favorites right now for as far as just if you want to look at upside for the rest of the year. He's not in the Masters unless he wins this week, but he should be playing in almost everything else the way he's playing. So good top end there. I think very solid.
Sounds like we are going to get Drew Phelps here in just a few minutes, so we're going to talk to him about that team. So that's good. Why did I know we had Brad on, but I mean my brain is going all over the place. I'm trying to do so many things at once. I don't think it really clicked with me that Jordan went in the 2nd round as the
we talked about that. We talked about that. See, that was usually you talk about me tuning out, DB. You tuned out then because I was talking.
I didn't tune out. I know we talked about Jordan. He talked about that shot at the Valspar he hit that screwed him up. I heard that. But in my mind, I was hearing him as his first overall pick. Like I didn't even notice that he had Cantlay. I was just assuming we were talking about his first pick.
I mean, it's a fantastic 1-2 punch right there. It really is. And Jordan Spieth, like we said, I mean, he went very early in the Augusta draft. Very early. So
that is a steal. I mean, be able to start off Cantlay and Spieth is a steal for Brad. Oh, okay. Looks like we have Drew Phelps from the Fantasy Alarm here to talk about his pick. What's up, buddy? What's up,
guys? Hey, guys. Been a while. I miss you guys.
Miss you, dude. Everything going well?
Yeah, it's been a little rough go of it, but we're good now. I think we're happy, and I'm happy. I haven't done one of these like season-long leagues in a long time, so yeah, it's kind of exciting to try it out. I've been just doing the one and dones and stuff like that, and DFS obviously, but it's nice to try something different.
Drew, you're big one and done guy. I remember
I love one and done.
We do our show with you, just constantly having to lose to you in one and done.
Yes, I have Corey Connors this week, by the way.
See, this is what I'm talking about. He's the one and done king. Me and Pat,
we are so bad at
notoriously terrible one and done players.
But you can pick outright winners every week. I see it. I see Pat.
This is true. What are you talking about? You see Pat?
Yeah, thank you, Drew.
I just said Sam Burns 51, and I had Cam Young. I had the 2 guys in the final match.
I feel like Pat needs some love too.
Thank you, Drew.
Jeez,
I appreciate that.
Changed.
But David's right. We're terrible.
The reason that we're bad at one and done is because we have to remember to do it.
Yeah,
that's another thing.
I don't have to remember to throw down outright bets. That's easy. Yeah. All right. So talk to us about this team. So right off the bat, I always like doing this. Like when I do my fantasy football draft, and you're with your buddies, you're standing there, it's midnight.
Yeah.
You got Cheeto dust on your fingers, and you've pounded a bunch of beers, and a couple of your boys are passed out. You're staring at the board, and your buddies are all looking. I love to just say, all right, who's the guy you just absolutely you hate yourself for taking, maybe in general or just at the spot you took him. You realize how early it was. Immediate drafter's remorse. Who is it?
Oh, it's definitely Vincent Norman for sure.
What? In the 14th round? That's fine.
Well, it's good value, but I'm worried. I don't know. It was kind of it was one of those things where I was like, oh my God, Joe, this guy. I'm like, and kind of just grabbed him. So yeah. I like him, but it is good value. I agree. It's late, but that was the one I kind of regretted last minute. And Norlander too. Too many Swedes. I got too many Swedes on my team.
I mean, listen,
two is one too many.
Yes, I agree. I should have just stuck with one or the other, but that was one I didn't love. And I felt like I wanted to have one live guy. I didn't want couple of people too many, so I took one, and the one there's only 2 I was willing to take, Cam or DJ. Those were the only 2 I was willing to take, and I got one of them, so I was happy with it.
Yeah, I mean the Norman, and also like with Norman, you can easily drop those guys and pick up guys of probably at least equal or better value.
I agree.
So DJ was your one other live guy, and you felt like you needed to grab him. I mean, were you just like when you saw Mito go off? What did you do? What did you say?
I was like, am I missing something?
Yeah.
I was like, did I miss some news that I didn't?
Did you immediately go check Twitter?
Yes, I googled his name. I was like, "Is there news in there?" So no, yeah, that was definitely a weird one, and I feel bad for Lauren because she wanted Scott Stallings.
Come on, yeah. See, I want to know what's going on behind the scenes. Is
So
everybody?
she realized because the name didn't say it, just said S. Stallings, and she thought it was that guy, and then realized it was the wrong one, and then everybody in the room agreed not to take Scott, and then you guys did during the broadcast. So
well, and does everybody know that I'm offering up? I'm saying that we should be able to give her Scott Stallings, and DB is not wanting, he doesn't want to do that. So.
Is there somebody on her team you want?
I mean, yeah, I'm willing to trade, but I don't know, like, I'll trade her. I don't even know if I would do. I mean, I'll take Mav. I love Mav. I'll take Mav.
Well, but she's not gonna.
I would take Buckley, I guess. Like if we're just gonna have to give it to her because Pat wants to, win the
play nice
whatever Cub Scout.
You could make it the same round, and we take Abraham Answer. But the thing is
I don't want Abraham.
Yeah, but
no, we
that's how it all went on down behind the scenes. I'm sure everybody's mentioned it to you when they've come on.
Tell her Lauren, if you can get Byron, if we'll make this a 3-way deal, we'll do it like they do in the big leagues or NBA or whatever. If you can get Wallace from Byron, we'll give him to you for Wallace.
Okay, make a 3-way deal here. We can make that happen.
Yeah,
Drew. Here's what I like that you did. Okay, because you took two guys that I think have some upside and are solid players, but that DB cannot stand. Like
that's why
he just can't stand. And so I'm glad that you did it because you took Garrett Higo in the 7th round. I like Garrett Higo actually. He's won on tour before, and then Tyler Duncan in the 11th round. Two guys that DB just always dogs on, and I like them both. I think they're good picks. So what are your thoughts on those two guys?
So. I was going off guys that are like my favorite DFS darlings, and those guys are good values every time. I really feel like Higo is a guy I only use in tournaments because he can jump up anytime. And he's one of those boomer bust type plays. Just same thing with Cameron Davis too. Like one of those guys that can, finish top 10 or miss the cut. So
like he's doing to me this week.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys enjoying that Higo that Higo right now?
No, not enjoying it right now at all.
Good.
I think it's upside play, and like I don't have to use him every week. That's the positive. I can use him in weeks that I know he's got a shot in a weaker field. I thought this was one of those events you could do it at, but obviously it wasn't. But yeah, I like. And then Duncan, I think, is a little safer as far as just a guy that I think can just make a cut. He might not, flash on the scoreboard. I think he can just get you cut lines for cheap. So,
I mean, my thing with Higo, and I will say
this.
With Higo? I'm slightly coming around on Higo, but my first experience with Higo was a couple years ago at the Players Championship. And I was talking to, I think it was Kiz, and I said, and Higo walks by, and I'm like, and he had just won, and he's this like big, just thick, strong South African, and he's young, and he was like dressed really nice, and I was like, dang, dude, that boy, I was like, that dude is a stud, huh? And Kid's like, yeah, he is, man. He's impressive. And I was like, I bet he's having a lot of fun on the PGA Tour. And Kiz goes, he's married. And I was like, wait, what? And he was like 21 years old. Like, he's married. I don't trust you at all. If you have the talent to play on the PGA Tour and win, and you look like that, and you got an accent, and you're in America, and you get married at 21, clearly you have poor judgment. So I can't get down with a young kid who makes that kind of.
I can get into that. I kind of agree. Wait, do the Derek Jeter thing.
Yeah.
Wait till you're retired, and then that's when you marry the hot model and have punched out like 3 kids.
The older he gets, the more I will come around on him because, like, I'm assuming he will wisen up. But clearly at that point, I was like, oh, I don't trust that kid for nothing. He got lucky 1 week and won.
I got one question for you guys. Were you as thrown off as we were when you saw South Africa flag next to Justin Rose?
Oh my God, I didn't even notice.
Did you notice that?
I did not notice that either.
Look at that on the board. It has a South African flag next to Justin Rose.
Oh, dude, no, wait a minute. He took Joseph Rose. I don't know who that is.
No. I was just saying. Oh, he did? What?
I'm just kidding.
I was going to say love now.
You were
Listen to me, man.
Yeah, there's going to be another controversy.
It's the Steven Stallings Jr. thing. Yeah, but that's Joseph Rose. That's Justin's brother-in-law, who is South African. He's coming up on the challenge tour. He's ranked like 1,004th in the world.
Wait,
really,
who took him? Which team is this?
Zach, I think that's Travis and Zach who are coming on here.
So now you can make fun of them.
Pretty soon, yeah. Oh gosh. All right, Drew. Who do you think? Look at our team.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna let you go. Look at our team. Who's our worst pick in terms of just maybe value or when we took them or just overall? Who do you hate the most?
I really love the Penrith pick. I was mad when you took him.
Okay, thank you.
I don't like anything about Van Rooyen. I just don't trust him. Yeah, I know you guys and Damon, I know you guys took him because you love him, right? Joel, you took Joel because you love him, right?
Yeah.
That was a hard pick, right? I know as soon as you took him. But I just don't like Eric at all. That's the only one I don't love. I like your team. You definitely, I could tell you were going upside. You guys were going big upside plays, a lot of younger guys and stuff like that. I could tell your strategy right off the bat.
Yeah. The Joel pick felt a little the 6-7 spot. Penrith and Joel was really. We had disagreement in the camp. We had internal, controversy going on, and I think we may have messed some things up right there.
Well,
I do love Penrith. I wanted to take him too. I was hoping I can wait another round or two.
Well, I like that too, but Joel too, David. You were talking about how like you just never know. Like after this, it's like the NFL when the season starts, like it gets rolling. Like you never know what can happen with how your team looks. Joel hasn't been great this year, but he's had a lot going on. He even said he was a little bit distracted by some of the stuff that was going on with the Netflix special and all that kind of stuff. So and Joel can get on a roll. When he gets it going, he can get on a little bit of a roll. So that's what we got to do, DB. When we're putting our team together for a week, we got to get him when he's hot. Not coming off of a 3-week break, though, because he's even told us before, you don't want to take him off of like a 3-week break because he's probably been, he's had a few White Claws and things like that. So you gotta wait a little bit, give him a week to start and then play him.
This is true. Well, Drew,
I love you guys. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Of course, man. We appreciate you. Love you. Tell everybody what you're up to and if they can find your work somewhere.
So Fantasy Alarm, we put up the DFS playbook every single week and the optimal lineups. You can catch me in their Discord all the time. And then when I do the projections over at FanJections, that's who I'm drafting for today is FanJections. And we do the projections every single week. So lots of good information there. So great stuff over at Fantasy Alarm right now.
Dude, I didn't realize you were a Discord guy. We need to get you in our Discord.
I'm down. I want to get in on that Discord. I'm sure it's entertaining.
I will be emailing you a free subscription to the Nut.
Oh my gosh. I am so happy right now.
Yeah, it's only gonna cost. It's just very cheap. All it's gonna cost you is probably Keith Mitchell, but we can.
I took him because I knew we wasn't gonna last another round.
All right, Drew Phelps. Thanks, buddy.
You guys, thanks for having me.
Oh goodness. Drew Phelps, great guy, knows his stuff. Been in the fantasy golf game for quite some time.
Yeah,
he's been doing it for a minute. All right, I think do we have Will Ty? Is Will Ty here from Bettor Fantasy? What up, Will?
Well, boys, we can just get right into it.
Yes. This is going to be the most exciting 10 minutes or whatever we have.
Oh.
Will Ty, Bettor Fantasy, drafting out of the 10 spot. Yep. Will, tell us about your team.
I mean, the first 2 picks were slam dunks, right? Tony Finau.
First 2 were slam dunks.
I have mentioned that. Love them.
The third pick, honestly, not terrible. I mean, it feels like Wyndham Clark, who has been he would be on like maybe Brad's all frustration team in years past. It feels like Wyndham Clark may have turned a corner, leveled up a bit. He's been much more consistent lately. He's been a DFS guy, darling, for a long time. But because of the boomer bust nature, there's some people who've, said, no, I'm not doing Wyndham Clark anymore. I'm done. But now they're starting to be like, dang, he looks good right now because he's been really consistent. Then what happened?
Then I turned around and felt great and took Mito Pereira. who for those of us who weren't aware, recently joined the Live Tour. So
were you aware?
I was, and then it was one of those things where I just had a brain fart. You know what I mean? Because you know, I know it happened, and because that announcement came a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I was falling under the emotional spell of his Netflix appearance.
Yeah.
And was like, man, I love this guy Mito. Who can't get behind Mito Pereira? And I saw him sitting there, and I was like, yeah, let's pull the trigger. And then everybody kind of did on the Zoom call. Everybody kind of did, oh. And I was, I was like, what? What happened? And they were like, you know, he's on Live, right? And I'm like, oh my gosh. I just felt like the biggest idiot. But you know, it's okay. Everybody makes mistakes. It's about how you get back up, right? Not getting knocked down. So
I kind of wish we would have had a camera on the Live on the Zoom room, like to see everybody's faces when, you know, you got people spitting out drinks. And
I can recreate my reaction really quick if you guys want.
What was it?
And I just sat there for like a minute.
Yeah, I've done that before in some football drafts also. But look, here's the deal. I mean, you can pick and choose when you want to play Mito. 4 times. You have 4 times to play him. So I mean, if you got some upside on one of the majors this year, then play him. Well, you got to pretty much. You really do.
I know.
So,
yeah, that's the
at
thing.
this
It
point,
kind of does back you into a corner.
You want to get back at everybody in the draft, right? So you want Mito to do well so that you can come back and say, look, that was why I did it. Okay. Look, I knew it was going to happen.
Let me ask you this. Was there a later pick that I made that you guys liked?
Yeah, let's see.
I got a couple of them that I'll give you.
Awesome.
And I know DB probably likes both of these guys. I think Ryan Fox has a lot of upside. Now we liked him a lot this week, and he's not playing so hot.
Killing my DFS lineup.
Yeah, he is not playing so hot, but he has a lot of upside. So I like him a lot. And then Kramer Hickok, who was your second to last pick, has been playing fantastic. We know his caddy. He used to be on the bag with Wesley Bryan. Got Wesley Bryan a win at the Heritage in Hilton Head, which will be the week after Masters, which is an elevated event now. But Kramer Hickok, I think, Hickok's been up there before. I mean, he was in a playoff with Bryson a couple years ago and lost. So I think you do have those are the 2 guys that to me were your best 2 late picks.
Yeah, I love the Ryan Fox play. I totally agree with you there. I think actually your draft is really solid. I mean, outside of the Mito pick.
You know, it was going too well that I actually had to tone it back a little bit.
Well, we can't let you off the hook with Sargent. I want to at least hear your take on taking Sargent there in that pick.
Honestly, if I'm being honest with you guys, I had a fire drill come up with work, and I had to address it real quick, and I was just pulling numbers from datagolf.com. Yeah.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. We talked about it. I don't know. Did you hear us talk about Sargent a minute ago?
No.
So he's the number 1 amateur in the world. And he's an absolute stud out of Vanderbilt. Mm-hmm. And I think it may, if I were you, I would not drop him yet.
Yeah.
No.
I would watch him play the Masters, and he may play well. But then usually that's the time of year right after they play the Masters as an amateur, they're going to declare that they're going to go pro. And if he does, he's going to get, sponsorship starts. They're going to be probably few. He might play 6 or 7 events maybe for the rest of the year, but he's going to get starts, and he's got the game for the PGA Tour. He is kicking anyone's butt that he faces in college right now. So he's a talented player. But
I agree, and I think we saw this trend with guys like with Morikawa, with Matt Wolff, when they both came out of college and declared they were winning almost immediately, especially Morikawa with majors. So I agree with DB. I think you hold on to Sargent and see what he does after the Masters. Now, if he doesn't turn pro, then you may want to go ahead and drop him.
Yeah. It's a dart throw,
I like I also like the Noren Henley play right there. I think Henley's kind of a guy that I think gets hated on sometimes, but he's super consistent, especially when he's on. Like, he can be very consistent, really deadly iron player. He's going to play a lot. He makes cuts. He's always kind of hanging around. He's even popped up in majors at times. Noren's kind of the same way. Greasy little short game on Noren, and when he's hot, he's good. He's got upside. So I think I think you got a solid team there, Will. Tell everybody where they can find your content and what's going on. And we thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, no, appreciate it, guys. So you can follow us at Bettor Fantasy, Bettor Fantasy, all one word. You can follow me on Twitter at Will Ty, TIGHEFF. I'm trying to get back into the Twitter game. I've kind of gone under the radar for a little while, but starting to bring it back up. I'm not going to claim myself to be an expert by any means, but when it comes to golf, I definitely am invested and interested. So hopefully I can give everybody some good plays here in the coming year.
Love it. Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for coming by, and
thanks,
wish you
boys.
the best. All right.
Yeah, appreciate you covering us.
Of course.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Will Ty, everybody. All right, we got to take another quick break. We're going to come back, continue some draft recap, talk to a couple more guests, and make fun of people's picks is really what we're going to do for the rest of the show. So stay right here on Bettor Sports. F.S.G.A. Fantasy Golf Draft is going to be right back.
Bettorcast. Shout out to today's collegiate athletes for getting after that bag. Name, image, and likeness agreements have turned collegiate athletes into just about as bigger stars and bigger bankrolls than professional athletes. It's been reported that Bronny James, son of NBA GOAT LeBron James, has an NIL evaluation of $7.5 million. He hasn't even picked a college yet. Arch Manning and Sedeur Sanders, upcoming college football quarterbacks, 7-figure NIL deals, they might not even start. And don't forget about the ladies, the LSU girls, Angel Reese and Flajay Johnson. How about Olivia Dunn, the gymnast? Listen, NIL deals have changed the landscape of collegiate athletics. Now you can have quarterbacks play college football till they're 25, 26, 27 years old. So this weekend, while you're enjoying the Final Four, don't look at these as poor little co-eds. These college athletes are bringing in big money. For more better content, visit bettorsports.com and at Bettor Network on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok.
Jordan Spieth, nobody makes more of these than him.
Oh, well, my goodness. Call the cops. Someone's been robbed.
The F.S.G.A. Fantasy Golf Draft on Bettor Sports Network.
The Tour Junkies are taking golf every week on the Bettor Sports Network. Join David Barnett, Pat Perry for entertaining and informative golf talk, including interviews with PGA Tour and Live Golf players and caddies, plus all the hot topics and tips to being a better golfer, playing DFS, and betting on golf. Have more fun with golf by watching the Tour Junkies. New episodes drop Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, or watch anytime on demand at bettorsports.com and on YouTube by searching Bettor Sports Network. And guess what? We are the Tour Junkies, and we're enjoying the inaugural FSGA Fantasy Golf Draft here on the Bettor Sports Network. And we've got a guest to go ahead and kick this off, I think. Let's see. Oh, there she is. What's up, Kelly from Trophy Smack? How we doing?
Oh, hi.
What's up? Good to see you. Good to have you. Trophy Smack. I love it. Actually, Kelly, can I show you something? Hang on.
Yes.
Oh dear. What are you doing?
See this?
Oh gosh.
That is a championship, the ultimate championship belt.
I can't believe he's bringing
And I
this.
won this off of Pat, my co-host here, in our first ever Tour Junkies golf tournament, Golby's Cup, back in the fall, Pennsylvania. And we had Trophy Smack do our belt, and it is beautiful. It's fantastic. There's a picture of Pat. It's not as great as and then here's me. But just amazing products over there. How we doing? You good? You good?
6 pounds of chromed out metal in your hands
Yes,
right there.
I know. I can feel it.
You know what? I'm doing great. And I think it's amazing that Trophy Smack is able to provide the trophies for all of FSGA events. But you know what? Here's why I'm here. Because Joel Scott actually follows my content. And on the side, I'm a little bit of a content creator.
Yep.
And golf has been my bread and butter. And I'm proud to say I'm at a 78% success rate through this season so far for DFS picks. So, if you love DFS golf, go ahead and follow along too.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
That is great. And I love the hat too.
Yeah, the hat is nice.
Thank you. This is fun Instagram thing. Ian Poulter, I think it was, at least 3 years ago. It might have been during the pandemic now. He was boxing up hats in his garage with his son. They did 200 of these. So this is an Ian Poulter exclusive, on one of 200.
Wow. I think I remember seeing one of those hats in the Full Swing documentary. It was in his closet.
I would bet it was, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was, because when I saw it, I mean, I live, me and Pat are both from Augusta. I still live in Augusta. And so I saw it, I was like, dang, I don't think I've ever seen that. I don't think I've ever seen that hat. So what are we thinking about the DFS landscape right now, and looking ahead to 2023, the rest of the golf season? Who are a few names, maybe, I don't know, like maybe not like your obvious names, Scotty Scheffler.
Oh, yeah.
But who are
I
some
would
of the
say in
names
the DFS landscape right now, the names are not the obvious names. It's been a really, really interesting season so far.
Yes.
And somebody who has been my favorite golfer for my entire life of watching golf is Matt Kuchar. And Matty K. I
Yeah.
mean, tearing it up this week, but this entire season, Matt Kuchar has been playing really sustainable,
Yes.
steady, consistent golf, with one exception out of the last 12 weeks. But other than that, solid play by Matt Kuchar. I call him kind eyes.
Kind eyes?
Kind eyes.
Kelly, do you have a crush on Matt Kuchar?
Yeah.
I do. I have a crush on Matt Kuchar.
I could tell. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's a real problem in my household.
Well, he's been very solid.
Eyes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, if I hand, now my wife's not a DFS player, but if I handed her the phone, she's going to fill the roster with, handsome dudes. So
yeah,
Adam Scott's going to be on there. Jason Day is going to be on there.
It's just weird though, because you don't think Matt Kuchar handsome guy, but he's got this smile and he's got these kind eyes, and you're like, can I just spill my soul to you, sir, over a bottle of wine?
Things no one's ever said to me.
Yeah.
All right, Kelly. Thanks for hopping in and joining us real quick. Tell everybody where they can find some of that DFS content.
Oh, yeah. You can follow along at Kelly in Phoenix. And if you want to get to know Trophy Smack on a more intimate level, you can follow us at Trophy Smack.
Yep. Love Trophy Smack. Thanks for hopping on, Kelly.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly.
Bye.
Speaking of Augusta, let's take a look at the Augusta draft, the other draft that was going on simultaneously to our draft. And we had, let's see, who was in. So Kelly was in that one.
Yeah,
Kelly
had the first pick.
Had the one pick. Jordan Daniel from Fantrax, Tom Cunningham, Bettor Pool, Josh Harvey, CBS Sports, Travis Waters, Bet Karma, DFS Karma, Jason Gold, and Steffi Smalls from Champions Round, Dan Gentile and Ty Masterson from Bettle Fantasy Sports, Spencer Aguilar, Rotoballer, Lynn Hochberg, RotoWire, Ben Stecker. Can we see that? Can we pull that draft board up? Let's take a look.
Okay.
Okay. My older eyes. If my eyes,
and mine are starting to focus. They're starting to focus. And you had so Kelly, just with us there. Well, I'll run through at least her first few picks.
Okay, now I can see it. Yeah.
She was picking number one. So she went Rahm first. Then on the turn, she went back to back Fleetwood and Lowry. And then Cam Davis, little early maybe on that one, but very solid, top three up there and across the board, a good draft. So
I mean, as we know, if you're on the corner like that, you're on the one, you're on the turnaround, you got to get your man if you want him. I'm surprised
she got Joel Damon too. Actually, so we're buddies there.
And JT Poston, right?
Yes, JT Poston.
She didn't get her man in Matt Kuchar though.
No, I was just looking at that. But
look where Fowler went in their draft. Fowler went the second to last pick in the second round. Didn't he go like fourth or fifth round in ours?
Yeah, he went fourth round in ours. So that's this one was a lot different. It really was
so different.
I mean, just from Jordan Spieth going 3 here and what 15th or 16th in ours. You had outside. Rahm goes first over Scheffler. there's definitely some differences up here. So
did Bryson DeChambeau go in our draft?
I don't recall Bryson going off the board because you would have said something, DB, if he went on. You would have talked about it if he went off the board. Like, is he available? Should we put him on our team?
No, he's in the second to last. He went off in the 13th round. Is that the Fantrax team? Like, yeah, to the Fantrax team with Jordan. I mean, what if Pat? This is just crazy. What if I'd have told you after he won Wingfoot, or like I don't know, 15 months ago? What if I'd have told you that you would have a fantasy golf season-long draft in the week before the Masters in 2023, 140 golfers would be drafted, and Bryson DeChambeau wouldn't be one of them, and he wasn't injured.
Yeah, that I
Holy
would not
crap,
have believed you.
You would have lost your mind.
Yeah,
you would not have been able to come up with a scenario of how that was the case.
No, I mean it's incredible.
But he sucks now. He's not
terrible.
He's not playing good on Live. He's terrible.
No, he's not. I tell you what, I'm looking here at Rotoballer here, Spencer's draft, and he very obviously went with a ton of upside with Homa, Young, Tom Kim, Keith Mitchell, then Dietrich and Ben Griffin. A lot of upside in those plays. Very
then Will
solid.
Gordon down there. I like that. I like this team a lot. Ludwig Aberg. This is a very high upside team.
Yeah.
I like that team. We kind of checked in with Steffi Small's team earlier at Champions Round. She's with Jason Gold as well. We couldn't get her on today, but I want to see her team because she's good. Schauffele, Burns, Hideki, Denny McCarthy. She loves dads. So I feel like Denny is really only her first dad. I don't really see Burns or Xander as really dad vibes.
Yeah.
Denny kind of gives me a dad vibe. Seamus Power, Aaron Rye, Nick Taylor, Davis Thompson. Did Siwoo Kim, or is that SH or Siwoo? That's got to be SH, right?
Yeah.
Or is that
where is that?
Siwoo? Her like 9th pick. Okay, that's SH.
Okay.
Where did Siwoo go off? Now I'm curious because we took Siwoo in the 3rd.
There he is.
There he is. He's in the 3rd. Okay, so actually, he went earlier in their draft than he did in ours.
Yeah,
which makes me feel good.
Hey, yeah, makes me feel. I'm kind of scanning here for the Mito pick of their draft, but I don't know if
Kelly took him 1st round, 8th pick.
No, but I mean, I'm kind of like now he's just he's the Mito pick. Like who had a terrible pick like Mito?
They had Cam and DJ go off in the 2nd round.
Yeah.
So then the next Live guy, there's Joseph Rose from South Africa.
Joseph, old Joseph.
What if it did? Okay, it's Justin.
Now I think that Tom Hoagie pick is very good value right there in the 4th round there. Or 4th. Who's that? What team is that? Ben over at Encore Fantasy Games. Ben Stecker, who was picking in the last spot there. I think Hoagie's a very solid pick there.
I still don't see the first Live guy. Mito was the first Live guy after DJ and Cam in the 2nd round. So our draft had way more early Live people going. So which makes me think there might have been more. This draft league may have more depth to the teams because I just don't think the Live upside is going to be there if they can't, if you're only getting them 4 times a year and they're not even. I mean, you're probably. The thing is, here's what's going to happen. It's like when you draft that guy that you draft him high and then you feel like you have to start him when halfway through the year he sucks, but you feel like you have to start him.
Yeah,
and I think with people who have Live players on their team, especially high caliber Live players, when it gets to the Masters, the PGA, whatever, you're going to feel like, oh, I have to put them in. I have to put that guy in when he may suck because he may suck,
Yeah. Yeah.
It may cloud your judgment and you're not going to be like, oh, I don't want to, I don't want to not play the guy. I drafted him for a reason and you're going to put him in and then he sucks.
Yeah, I agree. What do you think about Josh Harvey with CBS? Picking in the 4 slot, taking Bubba Watson as his last pick of the draft.
I mean,
Bubba Watson. That's scary.
It's hard to.
Is he still injured? Like, what's the deal with Bubba?
No.
Is he playing live events this year right now?
He's played both live events. I have
Okay.
his finishes. I have so many papers. I have his finishes somewhere. He's played both live events this year. He's playing this week in Orlando. So he's healthy again. I just don't know. I don't know how healthy. I mean, if it's somebody's last pick, it's like whatever.
Well, I mean, listen, Josh's team is one of my favorites because he's got Rory. So I mean,
in the fourth pick, that he must have felt good about that. I bet
I would, yeah.
Because I feel like in the first round, we haven't talked a lot about the first round, but like after the first three, that's really where the decisions really get difficult.
Yeah.
I could see if you and I were drafted in the fourth spot, we would have been arguing because I probably would have said I would have said I want Homa. And you'd have been like, what about Spieth and JT and Xander and Cantlay, which all makes sense. But
and it's actually, you bring up a good point too, is that it's really kind of the decision that you're going to be making in a lot of majors or elevated events is, which one of Rahm, Scheffler, and Rory are you going to properly go with? Okay. Or are you going to fade them all and then just go from there? But when you look at the majors, like, I mean, because it's good, there's no way you can possibly fit a Scheffler and a Rahm in your lineup. I don't think.
DFS, you mean?
Yeah, I'm talking DFS here.
But it's tough.
Yeah, just talking DFS. I think a lot of people are making that decision. They're going to be doing that next week for the Masters. Like, which of those big three do we want to take? Do I want to fade the three? In this case, picking in the third slot, Tom said, you know what? I'm fading him. I'm going Spieth.
Yeah. All right, Tom. By the way, Bubba finished 23rd at Tucson and 40th at Mayakoba. Thank you for that, producer help. All right, so Lauren is back, and we're going to have a chat. Hey, Lauren. Hey again.
Yes.
All right.
Did you hear what I said, Lauren? Did you hear that I was, I'm the nice one, and DB didn't want to give you any
No, I
leeway
didn't
there?
hear that. I would love to hear all about it.
Well, I just said that I felt like, it was an honest mistake taking Stallings Jr. and that I think we should let you have Scott Stallings. Now we would obviously appreciate some sort of, some player that's decent in return, but DB was very against that. He didn't even want to give you the benefit of the doubt whatsoever. And
Hey, look,
I did.
I'll drop him if I need to. I don't need this trade. It's only first initial, last name. I didn't realize there was 2 S Stallings. Did you guys know that? Maybe
It's new. I mean,
It is new.
He's new. So it's
I'll actually admit I recognized it this week for the first time ever. But it is new. So
it's I mean, Steven Stallings, not the same as Scott Stallings, but and Lauren, nothing personal. Nothing personal for me. I was saying I compared it to the Adrian Peterson situation back in the day when there was an Adrian Peterson on the Chicago Bears and an Adrian Peterson, obviously the arguably the GOAT on the Minnesota Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
And in my home draft that year, some drunk friend of mine put up the sticker that was Adrian Peterson with the little CHI underneath it for Chicago in the first overall pick. And we all kind of looked at each other and we waited until until the next guy made the second pick, and they were like, "Ha, you picked the wrong Adrian Peterson and you're stuck." Like we basically said, "You're screwed because you picked the wrong guy. So that's on you." But
are you calling me drunk right now? Because
that's what I was saying. Like, it's not comparable. It's not comparable.
I'm definitely not calling you drunk. I wouldn't judge you if you were. I would like to be drunk. I've done so much content already today.
It's Friday, but I'm not quite there yet.
Not there yet.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
I didn't know what time zone you were in. If you were in Australia,
I'm in Mountain Time. I'm a little behind, probably. Are you guys East or?
Yeah, we're
okay.
We're the Lord's Coast over here on the East Coast, but
That's okay. I grew up there. I get it.
Lauren, we will trade you. I'm willing to trade you. Or understand that you can obviously drop. That's the great thing about the fantasy league.
100%.
You can drop. I would Pat's made a lot of executive decisions today and without me, and now I'm going to make one. I'm only willing to make a trade for I'm going to say Mav McNeely. I'm willing to make a trade for Mav.
No, you can't. No,
you don't have to.
It's not going to happen.
Okay, understood. Well,
I just want to say, like, in our Zoom room, which like I didn't really realize you guys weren't in. It makes sense now, but you know, everyone just agreed to switch it out. But it's fine. I get it. At the same time, I don't know. I just feel like you guys feel a little bit threatened by this whole situation, or how are you feeling?
Oh wow! See,
she's Lauren's talking trash, and we play you week 1 too.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure we're all in a good place here.
You know, now I'm starting to get creative with the offer. Maybe, you know, we'll talk on the side, because now maybe what we could do, because you know what I really don't want to do? I don't want to trade Scott Stallings to you, and then in our very first matchup, you play him and he beats us. Then I'm going to be pissed, you know, if he crushes it. So maybe what we do is we wait a week so that our matchup is over, and then we consider a different deal.
That could be fair. I mean, it gives us a second to look at both of our teams, really evaluate who we have.
Yeah. Look
and
at the waiver
decide,
wire.
Maybe I'll just drop him, or maybe not. I mean, you know, it's just an unfortunate situation. But I do wonder, I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
What were you thinking at the moment when you did draft him at that point, 3 rounds later than he was supposed to be drafted? Like, why is he still here, or what?
Well, I mean, I don't know that I didn't think that. I don't know. I mean, Stallings is he had a good little run there for a minute, and then he's kind of tailed off lately.
So you don't really like him that much, is what you're telling me.
I mean, I like him okay. I see what you're doing. You're very smart.
Interesting.
No, I didn't have that thought. I mean, Lauren, I don't know if you could tell, but we were also hosting the show, so
you're a little busy.
I didn't know who was going where. All I knew was here's who's available when it was our turn.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know. So, and we obviously don't know a lot of our league mates here. We're meeting a lot of you guys for the first time. So I didn't know who really knew their stuff and who didn't, and why. You know, I also knew that there was a bunch of live guys already flying off the board. So when I saw Mito Pereira go off in the 4th round with the first pick, I thought to myself, well, anybody could be available anywhere at this point.
Well, I mean, I was paying attention pretty, you know, obviously, because I was trying to handle the draft myself, and I just knew it was the wrong Scott Stallings. So I was like, well, I mean, I'm going to go ahead and pull out, you know, Scott Stallings right here. I like him, but
so now it actually is kind of Pat's fault, and the reason he may be so generous is because he realizes
I thought we talked about it.
I didn't have the board in front of me the whole time. I'm doing all the hosting stuff. Pat had that, so
I mean, you're just super busy. Yeah.
I could have just, you
Pat,
know.
what were you thinking?
I mean, I have papers. Literally, I have papers everywhere trying to get this right.
I was literally thinking that you got the wrong Stallings, and so I'm going to take advantage of this, which
so
maybe
clicked in my mind. I was like, I was looking at my roster, and I was like, wait, and I clicked on it fully, and it said Steven. I'm like, who's that? No offense, I just don't know who that is, but I'm sure he's great at golf.
He could end up being a fantastic player. You know,
he's better at golf than I am, so I can give him that. But
all 3 of us,
yes.
Okay, Lauren. Well,
so are we technically allowed to trade or no?
Well, they say I know we're not allowed to trade league rules, right? Once the season starts, but
like a side trade.
It might be like a thing where, you know, we get with everybody in the league and say, you know, we're going to do this, and
but we'd just drop them and do it all that way.
We'll do it that way if we have to.
All right, we'll figure it out. Thanks, you guys. I appreciate it. I know it's a weird situation. If it doesn't happen, all good.
All right, Lauren. Thank you. And worst of luck to you week 1, but great luck to you after that.
Even more to you.
Lauren's giving it back. I love it.
Yes. Fantastic.
He's giving it right back. I mean, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just, you know, that's kind of, I mean, isn't that kind of the rules? Like, you draft who you draft.
Look, you know.
Look, there are 2 S Kims. I didn't even make this argument. There are 2 S Kims. There's a Siwoo and a SH, but they're S Kim on the board. You got to make sure you pick the right one.
Yeah.
That's a very South Korean version of the Scott Stallings, Steven Stallings situation. You just got to make one is clearly better than the other. You just have to make sure you click on the right one. That's all.
True.
Yeah.
Although I would put them a little bit closer together. I think SH Kim is I mean, he's got more experience at least on tour than
this is true.
Steven Stallings.
But also Siwoo is way better than Scott Stallings.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. So okay. Well.
Oh boy. The drama of a fantasy draft.
I mean, I didn't think we'd have this kind of drama in here.
I feel like you made me look like You have Lauren thinking I'm kind of a jerk now.
Well, what did I do?
Well, you play this role of like I'm just super nice and
I mean, I totally admitted exactly
merciful.
what I was thinking, that that the wrong Stallings was off the board, so we got Scott there.
I don't know. All
it
right.
would have been probably nice if we were in the Zoom, but that would have been hard to do. Like if there had been hard, so we would know what was going on. You know,
Yeah.
that would have been nice.
That would have been hard to do. We haven't really said who we think the best team in our league is. I like to do this too in the draft. You know this because me and Pat play in fantasy football leagues together. When the draft is over, I like to say, who's the best team on the board that's not your team? Because everybody's going to think, unless you're maybe Will, everybody's going to think their team is the best team. So
yeah,
who do you think on the board other than our team in our league is the best team?
I am. Oh man, now you're putting me on the. So I tell you what, I have to go with I have to go with Dr. Roto, who I kept talking about early in the draft. I just think when you look at the overall upside and the solid guys across the board, I'm going to read off his entire team. Colin Morikawa, great play. Hideki, we know Hideki. Corey Connors, he might be leading right now this week, but always solid whenever he plays. Minwoo Lee, we talked about him a good bit, has a lot of upside. Adam Hadwin, Justin Suh, has had a great Florida swing so far and a lot of upside. He came out with Colin Morikawa and Matthew Wolff. Hasn't taken off as much as those two guys, but he has a lot of talent. Brendan Todd, another great ball striker, good player. Aaron Rye makes a lot of birdies. Robbie Shelton, who I know you love and I love. We walked 9 holes with him at the Players Championship inside the ropes. He is a fantastic ball striker. Your boy Luke List, who you hit last year when he finally won at the Farmers at what, 70, 80 to 1?
Yeah.
Troy Merritt, Smotherman DB. I mean, Smothermans are a boy. So MJ Duffy, David Lipsky. I mean, I think Dr. Roto across the board has probably the best team.
I actually think it's close. For me, Byron and Joe's team at Roto Baller, but the F.S.G.A promotions team has some solid depth, especially in the middle and the middle and back end of that team. Cam Young, Sam Burns, Kitayama, Justin Rose to start in the first 4 rounds. But look at the upside in the middle. Davis Riley, Ben Griffin, Harris English, Nick Taylor, Davis Thompson, Patrick Rogers, who is winning right now the Valero Texas Open.
Wow.
And then at the bottom, Matthias Schwab, Dylan Wu, Bo Hostler, and Austin Eckroat. I think that team is interesting as well. Overall, that was fun. The inaugural F.S.G.A fantasy golf draft. That was a lot of fun on Fantrax. Pretty easy, too. Very easy to set up and do. I think ultimately it's going to come down, like fantasy football, a lot of this is probably going to come down to 2 things. Start-sit decisions and the add-drop waiver wire situation. I look at a lot of teams who, everybody did pretty well up top, but then if you messed up the bottom end of the draft, the late guys, you can easily pick it back up with the waiver wire. So this was a lot of fun. Thank you guys for watching. We are the Tour Junkies. You can check out our show weekly on the Bettor Sports Network, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern live, breaking down all the golf action, DFS, betting, any form of gambling. We're going to educate you to and have a good time doing it. The Bettor Sports Network putting this on is fantastic. Thank you to Fantrax, F.S.G.A, and all of our teams and the hosts. Check out all their content. This has been great. And enjoy the Masters because that's going to be awesome. All right. Thank you. Tour Junkies. See you. Out.